The overwhelming majority, the broad public consensus for the park's 40 years has been for a free and green, fully accessible and peaceful urban park without commercialization and privatization, no matter what revenue was promised. We are ready to fight again for the People's Park vision of the park's founders, my father, Morris Pessin, the park's godmother, Audrey Zapp, and preservationist Ted Conrad. Welcome, Senate Majority Leader Loretta Weinberg. Thank you. The governor wants to turn Liberty State Park into a commercial venue with his dead wrong desire to make the park pay for itself. The park serves the public good and is priceless and sacred public land. The park is sacred because it is next to Lady Liberty and Ellis Island, and it's sacred because it is scarce urban open space, a green sanctuary in this crowded concrete region. The governor's arrogance of ignoring 40 years of the public's voice and his craving for corporations to get park leases is sickening and unacceptable. The governor's plans are an attack against the quality of life of the urban people and an attack on the park's meaning and purpose to all Americans. The DEP's failure to promise public hearings and a public comment period is a shameful attack on democracy, which dishonors the park and Lady Liberty. The DEP has only promised misinformation and nonsense. There is a false and fact section on the petition website of SaveLSP.org, and I'll just touch briefly on a couple of their lies. They say they're only contemplating 38 acres of 1,600 acres. But the park is 1,200 acres, 600 of land, and 600 acres of water and marsh. The planned interior natural area is 240 acres of the 600. Not counting buildings, roads, parking lots, Liberty Walk, already leased lands, uplands of 2 existing natural areas, etc. The 38 acres they are targeting is a much higher percentage of available open space, and they fail to account for the unavoidable weekend traffic jams. The DEP asserts that the park is underutilized, but we all know that's hogwash, as 4.5 million come each year and the park is jam-packed on non-winter weekends. Lastly, it's ludicrous spin that the park has a deficit. How can a park have a deficit? Lawns, picnic areas, paths, nature, trees, and playgrounds are not supposed to make money. The park has $3.5 million a year in operational costs and actually raises $1.5 million a year. So the park only needs $2 million from the $39 million legislative allocation for all state parks. $2 million, a small fraction of the state budget. This People's Park is at a major crossroads. And in the words of Bruce Springsteen, there will be no retreat, no surrender when protecting Liberty State Park on behalf of future generations.
We're from golf courses to water parks to racetracks, and every time we push back fiercely and aggressively because we recognize that this is a gem and a jewel, not only for Jersey City, but for the entire state of New Jersey. With Sam and the superintendent of this park, we have been expanding the programming here over the last 2.5, 3 years, inviting tens of thousands of people to events. Just a couple months ago, we had the Top 100 here with 20,000 people and 20,000 families, members as a part of it. Liberty State Park is our home for the 4th of July. We will have 100,000 people here this year on the 4th of July visiting the park from all over the state of New Jersey. And what's proposed here will change the character of the park. There's no question about it. And we intend to push back fiercely. Now, some of you can say, what can you do against these sort of things outside of advocating for this? And the reality of this situation is that our best asset is that the governor's tenure is limited to 2 years. And our court systems move very, very slow. And I tell you that any prospective bidder, any prospective vendor who thinks that they will bid on a proposal from Liberty State Park without pushback from us, they're mistaken. So when they submit those proposals and they submit those paperwork thinking that there will be an avenue for them for a business opportunity here, they should recognize that there will be pushback from the city. I'm sure there will be pushback from the state, and they should recognize that their support from the governor is only for 2 years. So on that front, we continue to stand strong with Friends of Liberty State Park, and we look forward to a hopefully short battle, but we are ready for a long one. Thank you.
Hearings, and that's great. But again, in 2 years, there'll be a new administration here, whoever that is. But I can tell you one thing, I know we're all committed to ensuring that this park stays the way it is, pristine. And I want to thank my Senate colleague, Sandy Cunningham, because she has been, and Loretta Weinberg, because they have, listen, man, it's not easy being a guy with these ladies. I might be the Senate president, but they are tenacious in their beliefs and their fight. This belongs to the park. When I talked to Senator Cunningham earlier, I said, what about the rail yards? When are we going to fix that? They said the DEP doesn't have any money. Well, why don't we ask the people of New Jersey to provide it? Because if we provide it, I'm sure the people of this state would say, yes, this is Liberty State Park, right or wrong. So we have some work to do, but we intend to get that fixed and protect this park for a long time to come, for our children and our grandchildren. And again, I want to thank everybody for their advocacy, because together we will win. Thank you.
That we're putting on notice here at Liberty State Park. But we have, if I can figure the arithmetic right, about a 66 and 2/3% that we have a future governor present. So nobody can think I was not being nice to somebody who might not be here. But I can assure you they have the message that they'll take into whoever leads that new administration. We will have a different governor in 2 years, and Liberty State Park will remain a park, a national monument to the residents of the state of New Jersey for everything that it stands for. We are not going to privatize it. We're not going to expect it to make a profit. This is our park. I just want a moment to thank Sam Pessin. I think I probably heard from it was probably his dad, when I first came into the New Jersey State Assembly in 1992. And the Pessin family has been a part of my legislative career ever since then. And I always knew I could always depend, if there was ever a threat to 10 feet of where we're standing now, he would be on the phone to me. So thank you, Sam Pessin. Thanks for your families. Not too many men I work with that I can see eye to eye with. Really.
Looking at the history of the park the other day, just to see what's been going on with this park forever. And ever since Morris Pessin got in his little boat and paddled over to the shores of New York and came back, we've been fighting for this park. Right. It is truly, truly a people's park. You know, we're in an urban area where if you go out of this park and you find yourself on Johnson Avenue, you will find that there are older homes there, and most of them don't have backyards. Or you'll find, if you go out another way, condos where there are no green space. We talk about how young people in urban areas get in trouble. They get in trouble because they don't have any place to go. How can anyone seriously talk about crime or young people who aren't doing anything? And one of the places they can go to be themselves, to have a little bit of freedom, to be active, are our parks. It doesn't make sense. This park, although I don't run here anymore every day, Mayor, I used to, but I bicycle through the park all during this, every summer Sundays in the summer. But what I see are people who come to the park, they lie on the grass, they bicycle, they run, they walk. I see kids racing around the park. They're enjoying the park. This is a vital part of our Jersey City community. Aside from Jersey City, it is a vital part of the state of New Jersey. This is the park. I was talking to someone yesterday and he was telling me, boy, the concerts in that park. Because it's real. This park is just not sitting here where no one comes in other than the friends of the Liberty State Park. Other people come in the park from around the state. Our concerts are well known. The 4th of July event last year was phenomenal. But people on a regular day in a non-winter month or day, you will see people alive and well being active in this park. This park needs to be saved. It is going to be saved because we have invested in it all these years and we're not about to give up on our investment now. We've invested in this park with our love. We've invested in this park with our energy. We've invested in this park with our time. If there is going to be a battle to save this park, we're all in it together. All in it together. And there is victory in numbers. There's victory in numbers. So let's remember that this is our park. It is truly the people's park. Let's protect our park. Thank you.
Philip and I both participate in Tough Mudders and triathlons here at the park. The difference is he runs them. I meet him at the end with in a golf cart. I get there faster, so. No, you know, where we stand today, this was the result of 2 decades of hard work before it came to fruition by Morris Pessin, Audrey Zapp, and Ted Conrad, visionaries who took Wasteland. We're standing on Wasteland. These were abandoned rail yards and decaying, deteriorating piers, and they said the people of Jersey City, the people of our state, the American people, deserve something better here. And so this rare open space jewel in one of the most densely populated counties in the country and the most densely populated state in the country was born, a national treasure. We stand here today in what is a free, open urban green oasis, and I stand with Mayor Fulop and my colleagues in the legislature to tell you that that is what it will remain. One of only 2 places in the world from which you can access the quintessential symbol of democracy and freedom throughout the world, Lady Liberty. One of only 2 places in the world from which we can access Ellis Island, a portal that was the beacon of hope for 12 million immigrants, many of whom, they represent a dream realized by so many people of Jersey City, the most diverse city in America, and becoming, under the mayor's leadership, the best mid-sized city in America. And so, you know, the 5 million visitors that come here to Liberty State Park every year, you know, they represent that very same diversity. They come from all walks of life, all socioeconomic backgrounds, all cultural, racial, and religious backgrounds, but they share one thing in common in terms of human dignity, the fundamental right of an urban citizen to enjoy free park space. And so, you know, Sam Pessin and the Friends, they've never, and we don't, oppose small-scale amenities and reasonable improvements that are consistent with the vision of the park's founders. But what are essential, what we fought for, as Greg mentioned, in the amendments to the legislation last year, and what must be non-negotiable, are public input, public hearings held here to maximize participation, and a thorough, open, and transparent public dialogue in any process that considers any development whatsoever at this national treasure. So I'll conclude by suggesting that here's what's wrong with Liberty State Park today. Nothing. And whether you came in on the cobblestone road outside Liberty House or any other, any developer that wants to come here should be aware all roads to Liberty State Park run through Sam Pessin. And the reason we don't need to implement the report's privatization recommendations to make Liberty State Park a world-class destination is this. Look behind me, look around you. Liberty State Park is already a world-class destination. And Margaret Mead counseled us never to doubt that a small group of concerned, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. Well, the Friends of Liberty State Park is no small group. They are large, they are mighty. They are mighty not only in number, but in resolve. And so, we're going to win this battle, as Sam and the Friends have won so many before this one. Thank you.